through that nowadays the lack of digitalization is quite a problem in the wood industry. Therefore, our project Rosewood 4.0 is focusing on digitalization, knowledge transfer, training, coaching. And this is the reason why we are here today, to focus and to try to identify some solutions in different identified gaps, about which I will talk you in a couple of minutes more. So we are working on transferring and communicating best practices, innovations, and research findings. We are quite in an advanced phase right now with this. We focus also on cooperation and innovation. You will see later on what our activities with relation to that are. We want to offer business support for the companies and all the stakeholders involved and interested to take part and be part of our projects. Therefore, in the next period, we will be focusing also, put high emphasis on B2B workshops, in providing you with training materials. And of course, all of our best practices innovations are available to you, but you will find out more during this workshop. The project consists of partners from different parts of Europe. So basically, we are 5 hubs from all over Europe, as you see in the map here. And we are the Central East Europe hub, here with you today. But you can find more information about our project if you access our website. I will stop sharing my screen right now and tell you more about our purpose and why we are here today. So basically, as all of you know, this is the second business idea creation workshop, which has had a previous one 2 weeks ago, where we have identified some gaps, and these were the following. So we have identified the poor climate change adaptive thinking of forest authorities and decision makers as one of the gaps here. And during our first workshop, we have presented 4 best practices of interest in this field. On the other hand, there is another important aspect and another important gap, that being the low level of digitalization and low efficiency of wood value chain in forestry and wood-based industries. Also here we have identified and presented 5 best practices of interest. Those of you who were with us, and thank you for that, during the first workshop, you know that the ideas have been presented and have been supported, put as to a vote. So based on the participants' feedback at the first workshop, all these best practices have been voted, and 2 main ideas have been selected. 2 main topics of interest have been selected and shortlisted from all the best practices presented, and these are the following: wood as primary construction material, which will be the topic of the first part of our workshop, and the second one will be climate smart forestry. So basically, the aim of today's business idea creation workshop is to discuss the new ideas emerging to address the 2 gaps that we have previously detected, namely wood as construction material and climate smart forestry. Before we start and before we work on and discuss on the business ideas, I would like to ask all the participants to make our work easier, just to say your names and the institutions you are representing, to see with whom we are working today. Leslie, if you could support me in this activity, I would be very grateful.
Okay, so maybe I can start
yes,
with Forza.
With the pronunciation of the names. I don't want to.
Okay, anyway, I will start with Forza. So we are here 4 representatives of Forza. That's me, Lesia Loika, head of Forza NGO, and my colleagues, experts, Radmila Ustic, Yuri Derbal, and Natalia Voloshina. I will follow the list and go further. Andriy Vovk, please. Okay. Dobrochna Augustniak.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Dobrochna Augustniak-Wysocka. I represent one of the partners of the Research 4.0 consortium from Poland, that is Łukasiewicz Research Network with Technology Institute. And I'm here today with my colleague Ewa Leszczyszyn and Grzegorz Pajchrowski. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cine Zsolt Attila? Okay. No,
yes, please. I'm here.
yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes,
I couldn't manage my microphone, so I'm here over here. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Cine Zsolt Attila. I'm representing Result Pro Wood Cluster as the vice president, together with Andrea Sirpal and Mr. Rezső Kádár. Yeah, absolutely. This is very important. What we are doing over here. Thank you very much, Andrea, for your words. May I share? Should I say about the whole project now, Andrea, or
no? This is just an introduction round. We will ask for your support when we start discussing about the business model canvas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, hello.
Okay, Oleg Cheskovsky, and after Alexander Borisenko.
Hi everyone, I am Oleg Cheskovsky. I am representing Forest.com NGO and National Forestry University of Ukraine. Here is with my colleagues Dmytro Karabchuk, but he comes later a little bit. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Alexander, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alexander Borisenko. I'm senior researcher in Ukrainian Research Institute Forestry and Forestry Melioration. My department specialized on GIS and RS technology in forestry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Janusz Torok, and then Orest Kiko.
One moment. Hello, my name is Janusz Török. I represent Casa Arbor from Romania. It's a small, medium company, SME, 100 people, 4 or 5 years activity. We produce lodges for campings between 16 and 35 square meter in wood frame. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go on. Vishnya Koschak, and then Volodymyr Korzhov.
Hello, everybody. My name is Vishnya Koschak. I represent Holz Cluster Steiermark, Wood Cluster Styria, Austrian wood cluster. And we are covering forestry wood processing industry and building with wood. And I am also representing, or we are also in the Rosewood project, hub manager for Central West Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishnu. Forrest? Forrest, you are muted.
So, hello, dear colleagues. My name is Orest Kiko, and I represent the Ukrainian National Forest University. I'm head of the Wood Products and Furniture Technology Department. I am talking about wood mobilization and wooden building, because recently we finished Horizon 2020 project, within the framework of which we elaborated bioeconomy strategy of the Lviv region. And therefore, we have a lot of ideas in reference to bioeconomy development and in reference to your gaps that you mentioned above. And therefore, I would like to wish you successful work. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Orest. Vladimir Robotsky and Mykola Rakovets.
Добрий день, шановні колеги.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Vladimir Robotsky. I am the head of the Information and Computing Center of the Ukrdержlіс Project Production Association. Our organization designs projects for forest management and organization for forest users and forest owners. Thank you. My name is Mykola Rakovets. I'm the head of the technological unit of an organization engaged in the assessment of forest resources, planning, and forest management in Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think remained Volodymyr Korzhov and Yuri without a surname, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure who exactly is that. And Roman.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I represent the Ukrainian Research Institute of Forestry. It's a regional organization that engages in activities aimed at scientific and research support of forestry enterprises. The issues of the Rosewood project are of interest and relevance to us for the purpose of deepening our knowledge and from the perspective of using this experience as part of our work. I'm first Deputy Director for Scientific Issues. There were some technical issues because of which some other representatives are not able to attend, but maybe some other colleagues would join a little bit later. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Yuri Hromek, it's you. Please.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Yulia Hronek. I'm the Chief Engineer of the Lviv Regional Forestry and Hunting Administration. The issue of timber use is one of our top priorities. Hence, I'm here with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Roman Novikov and Mariana Stashuk.
Доброго дня, за ніком Роман Новіков.
Good afternoon. Well, here we have the Eco-Inform team hiding. My name is Inna Lechovit. Roman Novikov is here with me. So we joined as participants because we want to be on top of things in terms of the recent forestry developments.
Thank you very much. So I think, Andrea, we all had a chance to represent or
yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is an honor to have you here with us today. So basically, as said previously, the aim of today's workshop is to discuss these new ideas, wood as primary construction material and climate smart forestry. and maybe start to further develop or identify new issues with your support and integrate them later on in some project proposals. Therefore, I would like to ask my colleague Dobrohna to present us shortly some future financing opportunities in which these two topics that we are going to deal with today could fit in. Dobrohna, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Just 1 second. I will share my screen because I have a very short presentation. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we do. Yes.
And the presentation, not the presentation on the whole screen, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, because I have this on 2 screens. I was not sure which one will be visible to you, so it's okay. So I just want to present you very shortly one of the calls I have, one of the future, not now open, Horizon Europe calls that are dealing with wood construction. So maybe we have some kind of point of reference to our discussion, and maybe we can also start to form some ideas and consortium around this specific call. The call is called Integrated Solutions for Circularity in Buildings and the Construction Sector. It's not straightforwardly saying about wood construction, but as you will see, it's a very like suitable topic for wood construction. This call is 2-stage. It's open now, and the first stage deadline is 15 February 2022. And to sum up, like the whole idea, the successful project will contribute to European industrial sustainability, competitiveness, and resource independence by lowering the environmental footprint, enabling climate neutrality and higher efficiency through increased circularity and a resulting reduction in greenhouse gases emissions. The European Commission wants to fund 3 projects, 6 to 8 million euro each. And what are the expected results? So the expected results must at least address 4 of these issues you have here listed on this slide. So the first thing is that there will need to be some innovative material and materials and technologies in the context of circularity, waste prevention, lifetime extension, and improvement of life cycle performance, and also some innovative solutions in the context of design and manufacture for circularity, disassembly, waste prevention, and so on. But it's not only like basic research, but it starts a bit later. So more about developing and application of some solutions and the market uptake. So it's quite crucial to have this next step here. The diffusion and demonstrated benefits of advanced digital solutions, increased recovery and recycling rates of construction and demolition waste, elimination of hazardous substances, upcycling of reused and recycled material, and also, last but not least, increasing the knowledge about the environmental footprint of buildings and construction materials, including integrated assessment of material and energy efficiency. So the scope encompasses, as I said, innovation materials and systems, which needs to be demonstrated at large scale and implement innovative climate neutral solutions. And it's important to remember that the technology readiness level at the end of the project must be somewhere between 6 and 8, where 6 is technology demonstrated in relevant environment, and 7 is system prototype demonstration in operational environment, and 8 is system is complete. So defined and complete. So it's really like high level of technology readiness. Circularity, so reused and recycled material recovery and upcycling, also including waste material identification, sorting, decontamination. Design for circularity, durability, adaptability, dismantling and deconstruction. Also the digitalization focus, so using the digital tools such as BIM or digital twin, life cycle approach and LCA, using the European Commission product environmental footprint methodology. Also, the authors of the call are asking for identification of new business models that may be used in construction, and there will need to be some training material to build the skills of future workers, that they know how to use these new technologies, new materials in construction. And also the proposal must envision the cooperation with initiatives such as Circular Cities and Regions initiative, and contribute to New European Bauhaus. And New European Bauhaus, the wood construction is really a great topic. So it's not only about providing the great technical solution, but also to connect this with this social dimension. So the green and digital transitions in communities, inclusiveness, and also quality of experience, and also some kind of quality of aesthetics as well. Yes, and that's all for now from me. And I hope this will help you to steer the discussion further.
Thank you very much, Dobrokna. Before we start the discussion on building with wood, I would like to show you a very short video of the best practice, which has received the highest number of votes during our first business idea creation workshop, and which convinced us that this is an important gap that we have to follow, and we have to work a bit more with it. So just give me please a second to share my screen and show you this video about building in wood.
Do we have to have a sound?
The sound does not work?
No.
Why not? It should. I hear it.
I think you need to start both. There is a separate kind of starter for let's say the video, and a separate for the sound.
Okay. Okay. What is happening now? I do apologize. We seem to have a technical problem. Nothing at the moment. Okay, so I will. No, admin Forza is controlling my screen.
Okay, now you control your screen. When you start demonstration,
yes,
you must tap the sound.
But this, okay, let's see, and if not, I will put the link into the chat so everyone will have access. Okay. I do apologize.
I can share if you want.
Okay, then I will put you. I send you the link here. It will be easier. My apologies.
Climate change is one of our biggest challenges. The average temperature on Earth and the sea levels rise every year. Biodiversity suffers and the ecosystems are out of balance. To sustain our lifestyles, we emit tons of greenhouse gas emissions. If we want to save the planet, we need to reduce these emissions drastically. The construction sector, worldwide, is responsible for 35% of greenhouse gas emissions. Concrete, steel, and glass are the prevailing materials used. To cut on emissions, we need to switch to renewable materials like timber. Trees grow naturally from sun and water. They are more than just climate neutral. Every cubic meter of wood binds a ton of CO2. In Europe, our forestry is sustainable and every tree harvested is replanted. When building with wood, we avoid the emissions from substituted materials and use our buildings and cities as carbon storage. The more trees we can plant and the more wood we can use, the better for the planet. We are Build in Wood, an EU project for sustainable construction. The project duration is 4 years, and the consortium consists of 21 partners coming from 11 countries, all united behind one goal: make timber the natural choice of material for the construction of multi-story buildings. To reach this goal, we're doing research for new components and better building systems. We work on life cycle sustainability assessment of timber buildings. We brought the International Network for Wood Construction into being. We're collaborating with 6 sustainability-driven early adopter cities all over Europe. To facilitate the planning of timber projects, we create a design guide. Our efforts will help to create the sustainable future we need. A future built in wood.
Yes, thank you very much for the support. So this is the idea from which we would like to start the discussion with you, and we would like to start the discussion and get your valuable inputs in completing this business model canvas for the first of all, for the building sector. Yes, we, the project partners have started already in completing some basic ideas in all the fields to make the conversation easier. So we have the starting point. We have the idea, building with wood. So who do you think? Who would be the key partners? What would be the key activities? What resources would be needed? What added value is needed? Who are the customers, the channels? What kind of social and then environmental input could we have and benefit in order to make this idea feasible?
I propose, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, yes.
Yeah, I propose to introduce in the key partner sector the NGOs, because there are many NGOs which are developing projects in this field. So it's important to add them here.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Yeah, maybe I can say that we have already introduced.
Vladimir Korjov would like to say something, if I may. Can you hear me?
Так, будь ласка.
Yes, go ahead. The situation is as follows. Certain construction materials are used for the forest sector, and very often forest managers use wooden structures. So I think that we need to expand the use of wooden structures to create the forestry infrastructure. This is something that we need to pay special attention to. We can also use processed forest materials, because this will help us extend the life cycle of such structures. You can also include our institute, because we engage in these activities, and we are one of the key organizations in Ukraine in the area of forestry and forest transportation.
Could you translate for us, please?
Excuse me, we didn't hear the last speaker.
May I speak second time?
Скажіть, будь ласка, ви пропонуєте, щоб ми вас записали в партнери? Ви
What
хочете
exactly
долучитися?
are you proposing? So you want to be included on the list of the key partners, right? Exactly.
I understand there was also a proposition of value to use timber construction and timber materials to build the forest infrastructure.
Okay. Sorry, because I
Зі своєї інфраструктури, але
Exactly, forest infrastructure. But it should not be just round wood, but these can be lumber materials or some processed wooden structures, because we want to extend the life cycle of such structures.
Yes. Any other translation, or where should I put this input? I do apologize.
I think you are fine in the value proposition.
Okay.
But just to say that it's not used timber, but not round timber, but let's say processed timber.
Used. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Yes. What about key activity? Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Here I have a comment. One of the most important key activity in this field is to collaborate with the local and national authorities to make a strategy for this, because it's very important. It's very important the local and the national authorities to support this activity. I don't know what is the situation in Poland, in Ukraine. Do you have any strategy for this or no?
This is Lesia. Honestly, say that right now we are working on the strategy for the forestry strategy, let's say by 3035, but it's the strategy for forestry, not so much for using wood or circularity in the using wood in the construction sector. So actually, I think this also for Ukraine, one point might be to let's say to elaborate some strategic document on using wood, and also I'm speaking already maybe about the activities, but also make an awareness raising campaign on using wood for construction of public buildings, because at the moment I have no example in Ukraine that I can name now where a public building was built from wood. Maybe my colleagues can help. And I think in this awareness raising campaign, there issues have to be addressed that, you know, from fire safety point of view or seismic performance and resistance. The wood is a material that can compete with the other not sustainably, not so sustainable resources for construction.
This is Dobrowna from Poland. We don't have also yet the specific strategy for wood construction, and there are still exist some barriers that prevent or block the development of this market segment. So it's really important to cooperate with authorities to remove these barriers.
Yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. Yes. So as a key resource to the key resources, Lesia, I have added your thought with the raising awareness campaign. I assume that this is also an important resource if we want to go on and evolve with this fact.
Yeah, I think if there are countries that are more developed or, you know, more advanced in these issues, like already Romania, if we see the building wood project, then Ukraine maybe will be the, how to say, the follower. And I think this awareness raising campaign is one important step at the beginning. But I also wanted to ask Janos Torok, you wanted to say about your activities, what you do. Maybe you can just tell us shortly and also see how you fit in, or are you interested in this, in further work, let's say.
Yes, for me it's too early to have any how constructive idea for the moment. I just arrived today, and I want to fully understand what we can propose. Normally, actually, we buy the wood, we cut it, and produce some buildings. If I think about our buildings, are quite near to be easy dismantleable, or are with some exceptions, we don't use very dangerous materials or something like this. But we are very interested to join your project and to find some ways to collaborate. I don't know, with the universities, or to develop something together. I think for me it's too early to have any other idea.
Okay, still thank you very much that you are with us.
I can
today.
add here some words about Arbor, if you. Yeah, this is I think this is one of the important partners in cluster, the Arbor. Currently, we are developing a very big project together, not only with Arbor, we are developing with, if I remember well, 7-8 companies, members in our cluster. It's about to develop common idea. The most important partner here is Arbor, because we will develop together innovative glamping house, mostly for European market, and together with that I don't know, 6 companies, we will develop this product, innovative product. So this is the reason why they are here.
Besides the fact that they are building wooden houses. Yes, I don't know, Zsolt, are you here? Can you add a few thoughts to this? How do you work?
Unfortunately, he had to leave because appeared some urgent problems in a company. Apologize.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
My name is Orest. I'm from Ukrainian National Forest University, and maybe a few words about situation in Ukraine and in Lviv region of Ukraine. So I would consider your project, your idea as very important, and I would like to share with you some of my thoughts, some of our ideas, how to improve all this situation. So first of all, the main problem for Ukraine, unfortunately, dear colleagues, building or maybe producing construction with build nowadays is more expensive than some usual construction materials, some usual buildings. And therefore, this is a very big problem, because if you are talking about our customers, and our customers will select maybe cheaper buildings than wood buildings. Unfortunately, there are a lot of reasons why our wood buildings are more expensive than so-called brick usual buildings. Problem number 2, public awareness. I agree with Lesa. And unfortunately, in Ukraine, there is a tradition, there is a mentality that we are talking only wood building as a weekend house building. Yes, in order to rest, and we are not talking about wooden buildings as a public buildings, or maybe buildings within the framework of the state structure. And therefore, public awareness is very important thing as well. Problem number 3, hard competition within the framework of forest sector. Hard competition, I mean, there is a strong competition for wood resources. And as far as you understand, as you know, that, for example, for past 6 months or maybe 2 years, wood resources price increase 3 times in Ukraine, 5 times in USA, and therefore it will be very difficult to provide some free access for wood resources, for wood materials. And therefore our idea is the following. We have created so-called Forest Sector Council under the umbrella of our regional state administration. Our idea is very simple. We wanted to collect, we wanted to gather all members that will deal with forest sector on the one single table. And within the framework of this Forest Sector Council, we collect representatives from woodworking industry, from NGOs, from environmental bodies, from regional authorities. And in this way, we want to improve the situation. And our idea, we created bioeconomy strategy of Lviv region. Lviv is administrative unit of Ukraine. And for Lviv region, we created bioeconomy strategy. And for us, within the framework of bioeconomy strategy, forest, wooden buildings will be priority. And nowadays we are thinking about a state supportive program for our region, for Ukraine, because we see in this case a lot of ideas, because, you know, there are a lot of so-called internally displaced person in Ukraine because of real war in my country. And therefore, it seems to me 1.5 million person need new construction. And our idea to build this needed construction with wood. And therefore, we wanted to use example from Finland. in regard to public building providing, and some examples from Austria in reference to supportive ideas for 1 square meters of building with wood. And our idea is very simple. We should integrate all players in our markets, all players in our forest sector. And it seems to me in such a way we can improve the situation. We should engage the more players, the better. And in this case, we should provide so-called raise awareness campaign and maybe some promotion campaign. And we should provide, of course, some innovation decision. And last but not least, it seems to me that we should elaborate business model canvas for our enterprises that would build with wood, because we should provide this table that now we can see in the screen for any enterprises, because it seems to me for customers it doesn't matter green future, CO2 emission, that will focus on the final price. And maybe not only innovational decision, maybe business models will support ideas how to decrease final cost if you are talking about wooden building materials and wooden construction. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
You can add the Ukrainian National Forest University as a partners. We will support something, and you know, we have some other ideas in reference to this project. And I would like to ask you, in reference to this project, did you form consortium now? Do you start this preparing in reference to proposal writing, or this is only idea?
We are yet in the idea phase, but we plan to proceed and not just to remain in this idea phase. But however, we will take note of your interest, and we will contact you in the near future.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you too. I would like to reflect a little bit on the problems you raised, the first two problems, and give a very simple example which we have encountered in Romania while mapping the best practices in the project. One of our neighboring counties, Harghita County, given the fact that they have plenty of forests, and wood processing is one of their main areas and fields of activity, which contributes the most to the GDP. They have developed a kind of county regulations or regulation on county level that entities who use wood as construction material, even when talking about private homes or public institutions, if they can demonstrate and if they use wood as construction material for establishing their building, they received a small percentage of I don't know, help me out, Reju, from their fees, right? They get back some amount of money from their
tax discount.
No.
Yes, from the taxes.
It's if we're talking about building built by the institutions, they have to use 50% wood for this construction. This is the rule, because the wood sector is very important in that county. So it's they have to use wood for these buildings. And also they receive somehow discount in the fees.
Yes. So, but unfortunately, still, after some years, this initiative remained only on county level. So here I would like to go back to one of our key activities that we have raised previously, that cooperation with the authorities is crucial. And again, the raising awareness campaign, because if we work together and if there is enough or a strong entity to do some lobby activities, and if we integrate all the players into the market and we jointly attack, between commas, the authorities, maybe we can create something new and put this idea into a higher level. Yes.
Can I add something?
Yes, please. Thank you.
If you are talking about resources,
Yes.
I want to ask, for example, János and colleagues from other countries, what about the raw material in their activities? It's available, is in a good price, or the price is too high, or I don't know. This is I think one of the most the main question regarding the costs.
I will answer. This depends about the price. So if I talk about raw materials in our area, I can say that are enough of I don't know the English name, molid.
It's pine wood, yeah.
Yes, so I think it's enough, but the quality it's not the same with the Ukrainian or Nordic wood. So if for the structure it's okay, but if we talk about some special covering or something, it's not okay. About the price, I don't know. The price it's changed everywhere in Europe, and you know very well between now and January are no comparison. It's almost double. But what we can do to come back to the oldest price?
Yeah, thank you.
In reference to Ukraine, there are some uncertainties here because now we are developing some new law. The title of this law about wood market, something like this. And we wanted to implement in this law some ideas from Poland, ideas regarding public oferta principles. And we are talking about principles that wood will receive enterprises that have some geographical and history of wood usage before. And therefore, nowadays, we are talking about this law, but today there are a lot of difficulties on wood market in Ukraine because, you know, a lot of enterprises cannot survive these difficulties, these uncertainties, and all these uncertainties are connected with a very high price on wood.
Yes, indeed, we are suffering because of the increase of prices. Any other thoughts? Any other ideas to this, or to any field in this canvas? Any idea?
Yeah, only short question, and this is the last one. It's regarding the raw material export. What is the situation in these countries? Because we currently are working in the COSME project, where together with our partners, we are developing a proposal for the European Union to avoid somehow the raw material export developed or how to say, developed by the countries, because we have a very bad situation here in Romania. The export is not allowed, but companies from Bulgaria are exporting raw material from Romania to all the world. So it's a gap somehow here in the legislation. And in order to avoid these gaps, we want to develop a common proposal for the European Union to avoid these situations.
In Ukraine, there is a very interesting situation because, as you know, 5 years ago, we have introduced a ban of round timber export from Ukraine. And on the other hand, European Union says us that you cannot force some European Union trade rules. And therefore, it seems to me Ukraine have signed some agreement according to which we have to change these rules. And it seems to me we will forced to lift this ban regarding raw material export. But I would like to open you some secret. And since some our decision makers are preparing some new rules according to which we will see some environmental principles, and we will allow to export raw materials only from region that fulfill some environmental requirements. But unfortunately, in Ukraine, there are only a few regions that can respond to environmental requirements, and therefore question of raw material export is very important for us. And maybe some ideas, maybe the last ideas from my side, at least for today. You know, the main problem for so-called developing countries is a lack of financing. And if you're talking about climate change, this is the main priority, the main problem as well. Because as you know, some developing countries needs 150 billion euro in order to support these climate change ideas. And it seems to me we need some funding as well. But in our future, it seems to me we will not be able to receive this funding. I am talking about Ukraine and some other Eastern countries. And therefore, our idea is very simple. If we know sufficient amount of funding and money, we should start from awareness and education. We should start from new educational program for wooden building support. And our idea, promotional campaign and some innovation things, some innovational items in educational process, because we should prepare ourselves for future.
Thank you very much for all your valuable inputs. Yes, so it seems that all of our countries are having the same problems. So we have problems due to the fact that the price of the raw material has increased. Of course, we are currently and constantly looking for financing opportunities in order to bring something new and try to develop this sector that has such a long tradition all over the world. And yes, I've always also noted the fact that building with wood and using wood as a construction material is of interest for everyone. Therefore, I'm more than sure that we, at least the hub partners, will do some steps in order to go on with further developing the idea of building with wood. And it's very good to see that we have partners in this process. Thank you very much for this first part with regard to building with wood. Now, after a 5-minute short break, we would like to have you still with us, and discuss a little bit more about our second gap that we have identified, namely the climate smart forestry. So thank you very much, and see you here back in 5 minutes. Grab a coffee, a cup of tea, or a glass of water, and let's be back to further develop the second idea. Thank you very much. Okay, there is another interesting topic in front of us. So now we would like to hear your thoughts with regard to climate smart forestry.
Yeah, maybe just a few words, Andrea, before we go on just in depth to the topic.
Yes, please.
First of all, we are very thankful that all of you are with us from the very beginning, because our idea was to speak about the, let's say, wooden construction in a smaller group, and like not in smaller but in a separate group, and speak about the climate change and the pest disease management and decision making, digitalization in another group. But it's great that you are all with us. Maybe for those who is interested now more in this climate adaptive thinking, climate change, pest disease topic, it was also interesting and useful to be present on the first part of our today's exercise. Meanwhile, some new persons joined, let's say, joined our group, and I see Angela. I see hello, Angela, and Igor Alexiuk. I think you didn't present yourself, so just very shortly, Angela, who you are, where from, because we have already had a round of introductions.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So my name is Angela Garcia. I work at CESEFOR, which is a foundation, private foundation that supports the innovation in forest management and wood technology in the region of Castilla y León in Spain. And we participate in the Rosewood project and in the Southwestern Hub, and we are managers of the Southwestern Hub. So we've participated in many activities, and in the first workshop, implementation workshop of your hub, we presented HOMED, a French best practice. And yes, today we can present it shortly and participate in your workshop again.
Yes, thank you very much. It's very nice, Angela, from you that you have found the time and joined us.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We also have Igor Buksha and Igor Alexiuk. If you could, Igor Alexiuk, please present shortly yourself, and then Igor Buksha.
My name is Igor Alexiuk. I speak English very bad.
You can speak Ukrainian. We have interpretation. Можете говорити українською, в нас є переклад.
Звати Ігор Олексіюк.
My name is Igor Alexiuk.
Да, я розробляю програмне забезпечення для
I
лісового
develop software for the forest industry.
Працюю в центрі національної
And
інтервенції.
I work for the Center of National Accreditation of Ukraine.
Дякую.
Thank you.
Дякую вам. Ви знаєте, як користуватися функцією переклад в Zoom?
Thank you. Do you know how to use interpretation on Zoom? Yes.
Добре. Ігор Букша, будь ласка.
Ігор Букша.
Ми вас не чуємо.
I'm Igor Buksha, head of Forest Monitoring and Certification Department from Ukrainian Forest Research Institute in Kharkiv. I'm working for climate change and climate change assessment, like national leader for some projects. And my interest to combine climate change assessment and digitalization, because we have some experience to use mobile GIS technology for field data collection. And I assume this will be good starting point to discuss how to use data for practical approach, not only for investigation, but also for forest management planning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just to remind you, and I think most of you were with us on the last business idea creation workshop, and we have presented several best practices that on our understanding, and we believe that those might be some kind of examples or inspirations for you and us if we would like to address the pest and disease gap that was actually mentioned as an important problem in all of the countries that are participants of our Central East European hub. Just very shortly, we have talked last time about best practice from Slovakia called e-laws. That is an electronic integrated forest pest management platform in Slovakian language, which consists of very different, of several like sub parts. One of those is Atlas of Biotic Pest Agents, with atlas of 400 insects and fungi. Then there is part that is addressing use of pesticides, and yes, others, some bioactive materials, and all of these are collected in a one let's say platform, which is very convenient as for the forest users and also for forest owners. The other best practice that we talked about was from Norway, and it is called Arbo Air. And there was a solution presented where a camera that is connected to a drone can detect infected or stressed trees while flying, around a certain forest plot. And the service is based on the image collection, coupled with a trained algorithm for precision analysis. So those images that are produced by this Arbo Air drone system can be within the visual light spectrum, but also using a multispectral camera to identify damage attacks, and which is, on my opinion, very important and striking for me, is that, with these drones and with this system, one can see and detect the this bark beetle attack already 2 weeks before it gets visual for a, let's say, human eye. Yes, and it's I think early detection and then preventive steps are very important now, because here in Carpathians we have a lot of loss of the spruce because of pest and disease. And the third best practice that we talked about was the HOMET. And I will use this kind of opportunity and ask Angela to shortly remind you this best practice.
Yes, thank you. I will share the screen just for a second. I will be very brief. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try full screen. Screen. Well, I just try. It is an European project. Here you can see the characteristics, and we need to start it and we need to finish. It began the 1st of October and it will finish in 2018, and it will finish the 30th of September of 2022. So these you can see. Sorry, I want to be so brief. Here you can see the partners that participate in this project from all over the world. even Australia, South Africa, several countries in Europe. And the purpose of the project is to create a multi-criteria decision support system where people will be able to find out the best solution, both for prevention and also for eradication with surveillance and also with technological tools to fight against pests and pathogens, both from Europe and also non-native pests and pathogens. Here you can see the different work packages where they are working on to create this multi-criteria decision support system. So it will be based on research and understanding the situation in the European forests and how to combat all these non-native pests and pathogens. And it will create new generation solutions with detections and surveillance system, also available for everyone on the smartphone to register pathogens that people can see and other more professional, let's say. And it will give, with this multi-criteria decision support system, recommendations that will be easy to find out and understand from a website. And here you can see the summary at scientific level, technological level, and at risk management level, which is more or less what I explained. And if you want to find out more information, you can find it on the website of the project. And there are some reports that they have written to summarize the most important research conclusions they have achieved. And very soon, next year, they will have the results and the multi-criteria decision support system. And if you want more information, you can ask me or through Lesha as well, or the coordinator of Homemade Project, which is Arbo Air. Here you have his email address. So for any information, you can contact him as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela. And actually, this point about decision support systems, I think this is a very now kind of new and but more and more often used approach. And I think we also, if we will brainstorm now, how do we would like to proceed to address the gap that we already several times mentioned. I think that this something we should really seriously think to introduce in our countries.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. With this, maybe Andrea, I hand over the word to you. Still would like to mention that, and then Dobrokhna, maybe you help us. We had two ideas that were proposed last time that we have a chance to hear now a bit more about, and then we can have, let's say, free microphone. Everyone who would like to talk can do that. And Dobrokhna, do you plan also to introduce the Horizon project for this gap?
Yes, I have two calls, Horizon Europe calls to show to you. So maybe this will be also an inspiration for us to continue.
Yes, thank you very much. Then let's do that first.
Okay. So sharing my screen and from this one. Yes. So do you see my screen, the presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. So to start with, I'd like to start with the call I have talked very shortly about the last time. So harnessing the digital revolution in the forest-based sector. This is the call, also two-stage call that the first deadline is 15 February 2022. And winning proposal must ensure that use the potential of digital solutions in forestry and forest-based value chains contributing to multifunctional sustainable management of forest, adopting the multi-actor approach, both in forestry and wood value chain. And expected outcomes include new ICT solutions in forestry to optimize both productivity and delivery of ecosystem services, tracing forest resources along the value chain, and also more competitive industry by increase in the efficiency of forest resources utilization. And the Commission plans to fund 2 projects, 6 to 8 million euro each in this call. So as you can see, you can just find these 2 main topics in the scope. So first, the information decision support monitoring systems for forest managers, forest-based industries, and policymakers. And on the other side, the innovations in operations and processes. So advances in precision forestry, harvesting systems, forest nursery operations, optimized harvest planning, operations management, and also timber transport and logistics, and safety ergonomics and smart assistance for human workers. And for this, the proposal should use technologies and different kinds of data, geospatial, statistical, and modeling technologies, ICT, aerial and satellite retrievals, including data from Copernicus system, and also coupled web of things and big data analysis. And these innovations, technologies, and solutions should have the following aims: so improving the sustainability of forest management, sharing data throughout the value chain, offer new business models along the value chain, also tackle climate change impact. So of course have this mitigation and adaptation focus, and deliver high resolution forest and ecosystem services assessment, natural disturbance risk monitoring and analysis, and or disaster response systems. So it's important to remember that they want us here to cover the whole value chain. Of course, the main focus is on forestry, but there are also these, for example, tracking or sharing data issues that are much wider than only forestry itself. And here, it's also crucial to remember that this is not a very basic research. This is an innovation action. So we need to prototype, test, demonstrate, and pilot in a near to operational environment. So by the end of the project, the technology readiness level is 6 or 7. And some limited research activities might be included, but this concerns mainly the understanding of economic, social, and environmental impacts of these new technologies, new solutions, and their diffusion, including impact on jobs in forestry and wood-based value chain. So this was the first topic, and the second one is very interesting, but also very ambitious. So first, European Observatory of Climate Change Impacts and Demonstration Network of Climate Smart Restoration Pilots. This is a one-stage call, research and innovation action, so a bit different specifics. And the deadline is 15 February 2022 as well. The successful project will increase the knowledge on climate change impacts and enhance the practical knowledge on adaptive management practices. So in the consequence, it would be possible to offer solutions for tackling emerging threats and support decision-making in climate change mitigation and adaptation policies. Here, there will be one project, but of 15 million euro value. It seems huge, but as you will see in the next slide, the scope is also huge. So the expected outcomes. So knowledge on impacts and effects of drivers and pressures on forest in the context of climate change, modern monitoring tools, that is remote sensing, coupled with traditional approaches, so demonstration sites with observation, practical knowledge on restoration, afforestation, reforestation, and forest protection, compiling best practices for effective adaptation and mitigation strategies, increased capacity and exchange of knowledge, know-how, tools, and practices, and last but not least, engagement of the society in forest restoration. And here we have this optional, but we know that if the European Commission is writing in a call optional that we should include this. So user-led innovation or citizen science, this kind of approaches, co-creation approaches with citizens, for example, maybe some gathering data by citizens to further analyze. And the scope, really big. So here we have like two main things. The one thing is a network of different things I will show in the next slide. So create, the main idea is to create some European network to gather information, to cooperate with other projects, to cooperate with different kinds of stakeholders, also with the citizens, but also very strong underline on policymakers, improve communication between researchers and so on, but also on the other side is this research side. So to create an evidence-based overview on current and planned restoration activities, to quantify the possible synergies and trade-offs between contrasting forest management objectives, to analyze typical restoration cases and gather again best practices and business models for upscaling, and to pilot climate smart forestry measures. So as you can see, the consortium here really needs to establish a wide European-based network of demo sites, solution providers, forest owners, like different kinds of stakeholders, but also like different kind of resources like data, like knowledge, and also cooperation with different initiatives. And then what's also important that the proposal must have this holistic approach and integrate as far as possible the climate, biodiversity, and bioeconomic goals, which is, as we know, not easy. And also all European climate and biogeographical regions should be covered. So really, really a wide scope, geographical scope of the consortium. Proposals may involve financial support to third parties, particularly for setting up the observatory and supporting the implementation and scaling up of climate smart restoration pilots. So this is all from me for now.
Yes, thank you very much, Dubrovna. I'm impressed, especially by the second. I hear it second time, but again, I am impressed, especially by the second one. So I think it should not, if we are, let's say, not targeting exactly this goal that one project for 15 million will be supported, but still it should not discourage us from thinking now and brainstorming. We have a hand, I see, Ihar Buksha, but before you start, excuse me, Ihar, Dubrovna, do we plan to hear a possible idea from Polish participants?
I cannot see the participant who had the idea, so I think, yeah, we'll just go on.
So basically, I have a message. We have one hand from Igor, and there will be a short presentation what this NGO Forestcom started to do, a short presentation from Oleg Cheskovsky. So Igor, you first, please. Please be concise because we would like to hear more people and more opinions.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Lesia and Dobroshna. Thank you for so very interesting presentation. And I have just a question regarding possible participant. If Ukrainian participant have possibility to join for consortium, this is the first question. And second question, if European Network for National Forest Inventory also going to participate in this such ambition activity or no? Thank you.
Yeah, Igor, we are just collecting ideas. There is no yet consortium at this moment. We gave you the information that we have for the moment, so that maybe you can see or you can see and hear, you know, what is now European Union supporting. So let's say one is digital revolution in the forest-based sector. This is very straightforward. And the second one, Observatory of Climate Change Impacts. To join any kind of consortium, we should have also our vision and our ideas. Therefore, at this moment, we speak about ideas. If anything emerges further on, because we will communicate these ideas further to other hubs or our interests. And then if we see that the consortium is emerging, surely we will spread this information to all interested parties, as well participants of our business idea creation workshops. This is exactly the same, you know, kind of gather people, create some teams around ideas that are important and will help address the current, let's say, problems or challenges or gaps within the forest sectors of our country.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Is it possible to use all research plots like demonstration sites for this project? I suppose because these plots covering different climate region of Ukraine, so is it will be interesting to compare reaction of forest in different climate region of Ukraine for climate change. It's first idea. There are a lot of plots established in frame of ICP forest activity and in frame of inventory. So we can use this data to give some input for consortium.
Igor, in a moment, after Oleg gives a very, very short introduction of the Deep Green project, we will go to the same slide as previously, the business, like the canvas, and then Andrea will note down your proposal with these plots for, you know, like testing plots or demonstration plots, okay?
Yes, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, Oleg, please, yeah, be very short and concise.
Once again, good afternoon. I will be making my presentation in Ukrainian. We have the English version of this short PowerPoint presentation. I would like to briefly tell you about a project. It's a joint project that we're implementing together with the Institute of Space Research. This project was financed by one of the British foundations. And the purpose of this project was as follows. The title of this project, by the way, is Deep Forest. And the purpose of the project was to use satellite images and forest information databases to identify those plots and sites that didn't really have any permitting documentation. And we wanted to understand why there was forest cover loss there. This project was implemented in cooperation with another NGO and the Institute of Space Research. And this project was a winning bid in the startup competition. We received some money to develop this project further. And on this slide, you can see the chart for the project. So we used satellite images from Copernicus. We used Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 images. To process these images, we used state-of-the-art artificial intelligence techniques. Then these images were compared to the Piazza database. In those locations that were not marked on the forest maps were later inspected because we wanted to understand why the forest cover loss occurred there. As I have already mentioned, we used Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 images. Sentinel-2 are optical images in the winter time, and when it's cloudy, they do not really demonstrate forest cover changes. That's why we also used radar Sentinel-1 images. This combination proved to be quite effective. So here we can see how the system functions. We can see how forest cover loss was detected. We put it on top of a forest map, and then we inspected those sites for forest permits. And the ultimate goal was to identify the reasons for forest cover loss. Within this project, we signed a number of documents and agreements with various institutions. This system uses satellite images from Copernicus. We also use modern remote sensing methods, modern image processing techniques, so-called machine learning. And this system is based on near real-time monitoring. So basically, we can detect changes very fast. The interval between images is 5 days. We can also get cloud-free images once a month. And if we do not have them, then we resort to radar images. I believe that this system can be developed further, and it can be useful for the first call of proposals. We want to transition to the second level of monitoring, the use of drones. And with the use of drones, we can also inspect those suspicious forest sites with lost forest cover. So this is the basic idea. This is how we translated it into reality. And we can definitely use the system as part of the first call that you mentioned. As for the second call, we've been observing and tracking down primeval forests for a long time. And we can use these sites as a forest model in the conditions of climate change adaptation. Within the Forestry University, we have already conducted some research and implemented some activities. Our ForestCom NGO and the National Forestry University of Ukraine would be more than happy to contribute to the drafting of a potential project proposal within the second call. So we would definitely be interested in participating in such consortium. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Oleg. And it's important now as we see that big data is used and also some intelligence systems that are exactly like trendy right now, as well as the system presented by Oleg also, I think, helps to make right decision in several criteria, you know, to decide, does the site needs to be afforested or reforested? Is the logging or is the deforestation happened like according to the requirements of Ukrainian system, or is it illegal? And actually this approach can help to yes to make further decisions. Is there anyone who, and I think now this was our like planned input and we have not much time left, but if you are okay, we still need 15 minutes for discussion. So Andrea, I would like to also ask you to open our slide, and yes, maybe based on what we have heard now, key partners, it might be NGO Forest.com that presented yes interest, and then also Igor, tell me your institution in English. Igor Buksha. Okay, so maybe it comes. Who else would like to you know, to share some ideas of that we can you know, gather around those ideas? Yeah, please.
May I, Vladimir Korjov?
Я не почув.
Да, будь ласка, please.
Дякую. Те, що Олег Григорович сказав стосовно...
I would like to refer to what Oleg was talking about. The evaluation of illegal logging or damage. It's important. I was listening attentively to the new European calls for proposals. So maybe it makes sense to place emphasis on transport infrastructure. I mean, the network of logging trails and forest roads for any forest-based activities. So with the use of modern technologies, it would be important to design an information system for such a network. Our institute has such experience. We developed such systems for 4 state-owned forestry enterprises. Right now, we are working on some other ideas. So I would like my institute to be also included on the list of the key partners. We would also be interested in participating in this consortium. Thank you.
The question is, I'm sorry, Alexander, I just, you know, just 2 words. The question is which project, which proposal out of these 2 are you more willing to participate in this observatory? Is one very big project, or maybe the smaller digitalization focused one, because this will be also important in later stages? Thanks.
Я собі записав якраз цифрова революція, так?
Digital revolution, the first one. That's what I noted down.
Okay, thanks.
So this smaller project.
Yes, I see a hand, Alexander Borisenko, please.
Так, дякую. Можливо, в мене є можливість розробити коротеньку доповідь стосовно розробки нашого інституту стосовно моніторингу осередків шкідників та
Do you have a chance to make a short presentation on the developments of our institute, the use of drones, satellite images, and some other technologies.
Вам десь 4-5 хвилин вистачить?
Will 4 to 5 minutes suffice? Yes, I will try to fit my presentation into this time slot.
Ви
Is it
хочете
okay?
екраном поділитися?
Do you want to share your screen? Yes.
Добре.
All right.
З чого складається наша система, як ми її пропонуємо? Тобто це на першому етапі.
What is the composition of our system? What exactly do we offer? So we want to start with a handbook. It's a cell phone app that foresters can use to find out more about diseases and pests native to Ukraine, how to combat them, how to diagnose them in a proper manner. The next stage, they can collect these data in a forest with the use of a cell phone, so they can document their coordinates. And if necessary, they can also measure areas. Then all these data are synchronized between different forest users. All this information is fed into a central server, and then the data are uploaded onto our platform. So all the data are gathered on this platform. We can compare trends between different forestry enterprises in various regions of Ukraine. You can track down the trends. That's how we accumulate information. We are also cooperating with European partners right now to add an early detection system. We will also integrate machine learning systems. We are planning to use Copernicus satellite images to identify damaged sites. And all this information will be available via a cell phone app. And this is something that you can check and verify in a forest. The next stage is underway. You can see the documents that are automatically generated on our web resource. We have also designed a cell phone app for drones. And through this cell phone app and the use of drones, we want to add some additional data. So we use satellite images to identify suspicious sites, and then we can use drones to check and inspect these sites. Because sometimes the crown is healthy, but the bark is already damaged. So we will try to use some aerial surveillance to identify some changes and damage. So briefly, that's it about our system. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much, Alexander, for this input. That's so new for me. I didn't know that there is such a development in Ukraine. Is anyone else who would like to speak? And maybe, Alexander, you can say if you would like to, you have heard this, two possible, let's say, groups. One is this digital revolution, and second one is the European Observatory of Climate Change. Are you interested? What would you like to go on, or maybe to, what kind
Так,
of
звісно, було б цікаво нашій організації Інституту лісового.
Definitely, our organization would be interested in these projects, but I think that the first call is more interesting to us because my department engages more in digitalization processes.
Thank you very much, Alexander. And I see a hand of Andrei Talarchik. Hello, Andrei. Thank you that you joined. Please also present yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I was late, but I had another meeting.
Yeah, we understand.
I still managed to listen to this very interesting presentation by Dobrowna about these two main two European projects, and also
I find really interesting the information our Ukrainian partners have shown us about these new projects. And I must say that these projects and these two European projects are very much in line of what we are doing. I represent a Polish company. It's an IT company working in forestry with strong links to forestry research, to research institutions. And we develop similar solutions like remote sensing monitoring of forests, also using drones. We also develop solutions for forest management and for the whole forest value chain, as well as fire protection and recently IoT solutions for inventory and monitoring. I had a closer look at these European projects, and especially the one about the digital revolution is very much in line of what we are doing. And I just wanted to say that we would be happy to get in touch with other partners, and we would be very interested in forming in being a part of a consortium, of a group to apply for such a project. We also have some good connections with some partners in Western Europe in the field of forestry. So this could be also valuable for this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrzej. Yeah, we are short of time, and I know that our interpreter can stay with us maximum 5 more minutes. So let me propose the following. We will work within our hub on this business idea canvas, and we'll share with those who now articulated the interest to be part of the consortium, so that we can still have some time to think and enter some really concrete points to this, let's say, to this table. Let's call it a table. And but before ending our meeting, I would like to give a word to Radmila, who would like to say a few words. How do we plan to proceed further on with these ideas? Thank you, Radmila. Yeah, we see your screen. Yes.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. So we have heard several interesting ideas. So what next? Thanks to the Rosewood project, we have some possibilities of support, and I will mention them only briefly. First of all, as Rosewood has collected over 300 best practices across Europe on similar topics, we have the opportunity to travel around and to see and to meet people who are behind these best practices. And we are in position to invite some of you to see some of these best practices. Then, of course, with your ideas that you have presented today, and if we continue to work together like a group, then your organization can obtain support to increase your European outreach and networking, benefiting from such organizations that are part of Rosewood project, like, for example, European Forest Institute or network of InnovaWood and many other research and innovation organizations and clusters around Europe. If your idea is developed enough, the project can support you in production a small teaser video to promote your idea even further. Another possibility can be to include your idea as part of the platform for best practices of innovation across Europe. You can see it's on the screen. The platform already now has more than 300 best practices, and it can be enriched. And of course, then you will have an early access to some of the support opportunities at the European level, like the big ones that Dubrovna mentioned today, but also smaller ones. And I leave the link with you. And this is a new call international competition for innovation. The prize is not big, it's only 5,000 euro. But then the competition is not that big and the application form, and you can check it yourself. So these are the possibilities that we can work with you. Let's say the next steps of this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ludmila. Is there anyone who would like to still say something? Like we have 1 minute, 2 minutes until you think about your ideas. If so, you know our emails, you know the emails and telephones of the project partners in each country, and we, Forza, as a hub manager, please, if you have a striking, lightning idea after we finish our meeting, please contact us. We are always open for collaboration and to support. We are here to support your ideas. And with this, I would like to thank you very much that you spent these 2 hours with us, that you shared your ideas. Once again, with those who were very active today, we will form, let's say, a smaller group to exchange ideas and further develop the points that you have mentioned today. Thank you very much once again, and thank you, Olya, for the interpretation. You were a very important part of our communication today. I also would like to thank Angela and Vishnya, our, let's say, guests from the other hubs, for your support and sharing the information and advices. Yeah, if you are ready to take a common photo, please switch on your camera. We will be happy to see you. Yeah, something is wrong with my camera for last few days, so I am with you and glad to see your real faces. We hope that still we'll have possibility to have face-to-face meetings and yes, brainstorm and further develop our ideas. A big smile and a photo. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Ahead of you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.